What's up, guys? Welcome to this episode of TLC Toys, Legos, and Collectibles. Today we're going to be talking about 5 unique Lego minifigures that I have in my collection. Alright, so before we get started, we got to kind of lay out, some ground rules here. There are tons of unique Lego minifigures out there, and they're all really, really cool. But what we're talking about today are Legos, or minifigures rather, that if you went to a garage sale and bought a big box of Legos, you could get one of these figures. If you went to a thrift store and you found a big bag of Legos on the shelf for, 20, 30 bucks, you might find some of these pieces in there. The New York and San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, yes, those are great figures. They are exclusives. They are unique. The 24 karat gold and the chrome ones and all of those things. Those are very, very awesome figures, and but they don't fall in that realm of just sort of an everyday Lego collector like myself, someone that's not going to spend $1,000 on a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive figure. But like I said, I could go to a garage sale and I could pull these pieces out of a box. So we got some really cool things going on. Let's just check out our minifigures, and we'll give you some honorable mentions. How about that? Alright, first honorable mention comes to us from Marvel, and it is Red Boots Spider-Man. I do love the Red Boots Spider-Man. On the left, we have regular Spider-Man. On the right, we have Red Boots Spider-Man. Now, they're all kind of common. They made plenty of Spider-Man sets, but I just think that the Red Boots give the character a little bit of extra flair. So, if you ever see that piece out in the wild, those red boots, you know you have a Spider-Man figure. Alright, honorable mention number 2, actually pretty interesting. Recently picked these up. I don't know if you guys have seen these in a video yet, but I'm going to show them to you anyway. They are Adidas soccer players. I love Adidas, I love soccer, I love the World Cup, you guys know that. And I don't think that Lego licensed with a lot of apparel companies like Adidas, Nike, Under Armour, that type of thing. But I do love that they have the Adidas logos. These guys have jersey numbers on the back, which is really neat. So kind of makes them, a little bit more individualized, as it were. But I like that the goalie has a black jersey, and he's been taking a beating, so he's got kind of a black eye or a bloody eye right there. So very interesting. But I got these all out of one box of Legos, so I'm sure that when you're out there in the wild, you will be able to find them too. Okay, honorable mention number 3, I should say, comes to us from the Star Wars universe. This is Galen Merrick, also known as Darth Starkiller. This is Darth Vader's apprentice when he became a Sith. I think this only came out in maybe 1 or 2 sets, but it is another figure that I was able to get out of a box. You can see you got some battle damage around the ribs, just sort of a plain face, generic face printing, nothing on the back. But he's a little bit unique because he's got like one sleeve and missing a sleeve. And like I said, it's a figure that only came out in a couple of sets. Alright, so number 5 comes to us from the Lego Ninjago movie collectible minifigure series. This is the Rockstar. And what makes this minifigure very unique is all of the printing and the extra length that Lego went to create this figure. You can see there's toe printing, and then there's dual printing on the legs to give him like that high top look. He's got printing on his arm, his tattoo, and his wristband. There's his guitar, and he does have a dual molded face, so you can change his expression if you want. But no back printing, which was kind of a bummer. But I do like this figure. I definitely think it's unique, and I actually got this out of a box of bulk Legos that I bought, I believe, at a garage sale. So very cool minifigure. If you see it out there, definitely add that one to your collection. Okay, coming in at number 4, we're sticking with the sports theme. We've got Lego NBA minifigures. Now, they did make a couple of full court basketball sets, and I think the first one said NBA across the front of the jersey before they got the team license. But what makes these minifigures so unique is you could probably see it right now. They have springs in their legs. You can see Gary Payton, you can bend the figure back, and they do that for a very specific reason. The second thing is that their arm pieces are a little longer. You can kind of tell the arms go almost down to those springs, where a normal minifigure, they would probably cut off like right here at the wrist or so. But you could take a basketball, you give Vince Carter a basketball, and he can shoot it. So, very unique minifigures, like I said. You might find these in a box of bulk that you pick up at a garage sale. I actually found these at a thrift store. I paid a little too much for them, but I did not have them, so I had to have them, so I bought them. So NBA figures, number 4. Alright, so coming in at number 3, everyone's favorite Wookiee, Chewbacca. But you will notice something different about this Chewbacca. He is white with red and green speckles on his leather Bangladesh or whatever that thing's called. This came out of an advent calendar, so you know they sell a ton of those during Christmas time. So this figure isn't rare by any means, but I just think it's interesting to get a Star Wars character in a different color like that. Very cool minifigure. Happy to have it to my collection. I actually found the headpiece, which is all one mold in a box, and then had to piece together just a generic white legs and white torso and white arms to make this guy complete. But like I said, I love it. I love seeing it in a different color. It's a pretty good likeness of Chewbacca the Bookie, you know, of Chewbacca. Yeah, so I thought that made a really good selection for number 3. Let's get into our top 2. Alright, coming in at number 2 is a figure that I'm sure will shock and titillate the senses, because you are not prepared to see this character with these colors. Coming to us from the Lego Batman movie collectible minifigures series, where they did a lot of crazy far out prints on some DC characters. This is definitely the most unique out of that set, I believe. It is Fairy, or sometimes known as Ballerina Batman. Now you're like, oh my god, Batman's in pink, your jaw just hit the floor, you don't know what to say, you don't know what to do. But let's just go over it real quick, because it is a really cool, unique minifigure, and if you collect Batman or DC minifigures, you don't have this one in your collection, it's not rare. Like I said, it came out in a collectible minifigure set, so there's plenty of them out there. But where else are you going to get a pink Batman cowl, a pink tutu with the Batman logo on it? And then, you know, I like leg printing and all the little special things that Lego does to give the character a little bit more flair. I think we've made that clear in this video, but we've got some toe printing, we've got some underwear tutu type printing, and then we've got some arm printing, which is really nice. The black and the pink with the darker pink stripes does come with the fairy wings. The leg printing goes all the way around the back, which is nice. Sometimes they don't do that, and I don't like them as much. Comes with his wand, but also another really cool piece is underneath the cowl. Generally, Batman figures will come where that pink is, that pink line will be black. So when you put the cowl on, it looks like there's, you know, black around Batman's eyes, and you can only see the white of his eyes. Well, they had to do the same thing with this particular minifigure, or else it wouldn't look right. Kind of see in there. But yes, very unique minifigure, very cool, very collectible, I think. It's one of those figures that if you have it in your collection, it gets people talking. You know, I think Tyler came over and he was like, is that a pink Batman? So we had to talk about it. So very awesome. Great selection for number 2. But what made the number 1 spot? Okay, coming in at number 1 is everybody's favorite Zabrak, Darth Maul. Now, this is a very interesting figure. You're looking at it going, there's a lot going on. We have Darth Maul, no cape, no dual saber. He's got these mechanical legs. And why in the hell does he have the dark saber of Mandalore? So, we'll talk about it. So this figure came out in one set, I believe. Some nice arm printing, some nice back printing. We spin around, great face printing for Darth Maul. And you do get this little Zabrak headpiece that has the horns, which are not exactly right. I think these are a little bit more yellow color But either way, let's talk about this. So in Star Wars The Clone Wars, Savage Press finds Darth Maul, who was cut in half in Phantom Menace by Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think we all know that if you're a Star Wars fan. But he spent 12 years on this junk planet. His brother goes to look for him. He finds him, takes him back to the Seven Sisters. He had sort of like this arachnid body on him. He's like almost like a Scorpion King type body. And the Seven Sisters replaced that with these claw mechanical legs. Kind of remind you of General Grievous legs almost. And then later, he gets into a battle with one of the pirates, Hondo, and these legs get damaged, and he actually gets more organic, cybernetic, proper legs for his species. And then later, when he goes to take over Mandalore, he gets the dark saber, right? When he kills Pir Vizsla. So the timeline doesn't match up, which makes it unique if you're a Star Wars fan. So it's really an interesting Darth Maul figure to have in your collection if you collect Sith, the Jedi, that kind of thing. But I will tell you that I got most of that out of a box of Legos. These leg pieces and the torso, I had to get off Bricklink, and that one piece was like $12. So if you're looking to get this figure, definitely get it right now while the prices are still a little bit affordable. Great figure. Again, it's another talking piece figure. People come over and go, what is that? Is that Darth Maul? And then you explain to them Clone Wars and Savage Press and the whole thing. And it really sets, I think it gives my Star Wars collection a little bit of flair. So that's why it made #1. It is very unique, very awesome. I love Star Wars, so it was almost a no-brainer to make a Star Wars figure #1. Okay, so as I pan down my Star Wars minifigure display case, I want to remind everybody to please subscribe if you like these types of videos. There's definitely more to come. Like, comment, share on social media. And don't forget, as always, to bang that notification bell so you can stay up to date on all of your CM Retro gaming goodness. We do pickup videos, toy videos. We haven't done a collection video in a while, so we might have one of those coming. Bakalov Spider-Man, that one almost made the list. But guys, thank you again so much for stopping by. Take care of yourselves, and we will see you on the next one.